So when it comes to my babies, I always choose violence. I'm never the bigger person. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I am never the bigger person when it comes to kids. I'm always, who did it? What happened? I'm going to make sure that I am that adult that advocates for a child. I don't care who child it is. If they are in my care, I'm going to advocate for them. I want all the smoke every time, all my clients, and all my clients know that. That's why a lot of them still have me as an emergency contact with their kids, because they know she want all the smoke. My baby gonna be good. All right, don't play with me. So like, y'all, my sister called me not too long ago. My sister called me and she was like, this is what happened about my nephew's school. So I started getting quiet. She was like, no, you don't have to come home. I was just letting you know so you can tell me how I need to handle this. It's just that one teacher, I really like the school. Don't ruin this for me. I was like, oh, okay, so this is how we're going to handle it. Because auntie pull up. What? No, you're not gonna play me. You're not gonna play my babies either. So I am at church one night, and when I tell y'all, church people try to get over on you the worst. My husband has a buy here, pay here dealership. We have tried to help numerous of members of the church that I used to go to, and it always burned us in the end. Like one dude locked the engine up in one of our cars, took him to court. He still ain't paid, but he all on social media. I'm doing this. Boy, you ain't doing nothing. You're broke. So another young lady took a car out of town, wasn't supposed to. All of these are buy here, pay here cars. We tried to help out a young lady. She was a single mom, and my husband was like, I can do $85 a week. She's a hairstylist. He was really trying to help her out. But she was late every time she was late. And we just started cutting the car off. And you're going to pay the late fee. So she would get mad. No, you ain't going to keep cutting my car off because I'm late a few hours. That's part of the agreement. There's no, you're buy here, pay here. Things are different. Baby, you can't get a Kroger Plus card. We're trying to help you out. Like, you're catching a bus, you're using Uber, you're doing all of this. So we're trying to help you out, but you took our kindness as a weakness. So she was texting my husband. She was cussing. She doing all this, going off. You this, you that, you money hungry. You could help me out just because I'm a few days late, like all of that stuff. So we were like, okay. He was like, I just repoed a car. Instead, she left the car at the church and was like, come get your shit. That's how we doing it? Okay, bet. So one thing about me, when I am at a church, I serve. And when I say I serve, I serve. I love serving, so I'm always going to serve. So I tell my clients, if I got to work on a Tuesday, either the baby can come to church with me or I need to leave at 6 because I have Bible study. I'm not missing Bible study. Also, this was way before COVID. So I was like, I'm just going to start taking my babies to church with me. And I did. I had clients that would be like, oh, yeah, take them. And my clients that would stay the weekend or stuff, all their parents knew, make sure to pack church clothes because they know Nanny Q going to church. And them babies going too. And so I was sitting at church. I was sitting in the front. And I was sitting at the table in the front. And I had one of my babies. And she was sitting in my lap. And she was on this phone right here, my work phone. And she was looking at cartoons. Elmo. I think it was Elmo. I'm Mickey Mouse. Anyway, the young lady came on, was like, hey, what you speaking to me for? Because you just cussed my husband. You call my husband everything but the child of God. And we is one, baby. You better be glad I got this baby. That's all I'm thinking. Because in my mind, you don't disrespect mine. That's my husband, baby. I'm going to go to war. Don't play with me. So I sat there, I was quiet. Oh, so you ain't speaking? I said, sweetheart, we have nothing to talk about. You can move on. There's nothing to say. So she goes to try to speak to the baby, and the baby ain't paying attention to her because she don't know her. And the baby mom is a celebrity. So she was, trying to be all up. Hey, I was like, no. So the baby never looked up to even speak or anything. So she was like, oh, you really gonna act like that? I never said anything else. I started looking at pulling up my Bible app so I could pay attention to church, because I was looking at the screen outside in the little I guess a little hallway area. So she doing all this talking. I'm still not saying nothing. And she hooping and hollering because now she's upset because I won't give her any of my energy. So now she's upset. Oh, you gonna act like this? You gonna act like... She just going back and forth. I said, sweetheart, Georgia is a stand your ground state. Remember that. That's all I kept saying. Georgia is a stand your ground state. So she started flipping tables and chairs. We at church on a Tuesday night in the middle of Bible study. So people are walking by and they see her acting like this. And I'm just sitting there with my baby, and my baby never stopped looking at TV. She never even noticed the stuff that was around and how the lady was acting, because my energy never changed. So I was just sitting there and she doing all that. I said, baby, remember, Georgia is a stand your ground state. So she's still doing all this hooping and hollering. Now security and the police officers and stuff starting to come around. So she's getting louder because she has an audience. So I keep saying it. Remember, Georgia is a stand your ground state, and I have no problem staying late to do paperwork. And she, so she flipping tables, and she gets a little close to where my baby is. And I say, if anything happens to this child that is in my lap, if one hair on her head is harm, that's the end for you. Wait, that's a threat. Baby, I stopped making threats in 1998. All I make is promises. So she's still talking crazy. And one of the young ladies that was working the front desk, I think her name was Dominique, if I'm not mistaken, she said, I was good until I heard Queen say, remember, Georgia is a stand your ground state. She said the hairs on the back of my neck stood up because I knew she was telling the truth. Yep, and I ain't got to go to the car to go get nothing. It's sitting right here. So the police came out. They were like, you good? I was like, oh, I'm amazing. And one of the police officers said, look, you're too calm. Are you okay? I said, I am fine. I never let a demon get me out of character. I never let someone who has something else going on try to put their problems on me. And they were like, oh. I said, but y'all was getting ready to do some paperwork tonight, babe, because if anything would have happened to this one right here, I ain't even got to call her daddy. I was going to handle that by myself. And then her daddy was going to make sure that I was good. And they were like, oh, I know her mom and daddy. We know. Oh, okay, just as long as we know. The cab was getting ready to be shut down. That was it. And we were laughing about it. And they were like, all Queen kept saying was, Georgia is a stand your ground state. Now, throughout this whole thing that's going on, my baby was looking at TV. She never cried. She never did anything. I had her cup. She had her chips. She was eating. She was looking at TV, and she was drinking her juice. Never did I change my energy to have her even feel like there was a problem, because I knew there was no problem. One thing I know, that blood of Jesus covers my life. So I have learned not to allow demons and other people to try to get at me or make me mad. But it was something that took me a long time to learn. It was not to always react and just to let people be a fool. Something that my grandmama would always say, when somebody's acting a fool and you act a fool, well, them people don't know which one of y'all needs to be in the circus and which one of y'all get to walk away. I'm never joining anybody's circus. You be a fool and you be a clown by yourself. Don't pull me into it. Girl, that right there. Them folks was like, Queen just kept on saying, Georgia, stand your ground state. And a few other people were like, I don't even know why she was talking to you. Why would she even say anything to you? I was like, hey, I'm good. Y'all good? I'm about to go. So the police, I was like, I'm going to walk you out. I said, for what? They was like, because I don't want to do no paperwork tonight. Oh, okay.